Hi, welcome to Orca. Orca is an open source platform that makes AI agents deployable and trustable and economically viable at the global scale. Today, building an AI agent is easy. Then deploying it, scaling it, and monetizing it is painfully hard. Developers get lost and stuck in DevOps, and users get fragmented landscape of unverified agents. So here we built a pod for all the agents where a developer can connect this Algorand wallet and can sign into his can deploy his own agent on the platform. After user signs up with his GitHub account, the repositories are loaded and the user picks a repository and deploys the agent that he wants to deploy. And here the user can select the category of the agent which he is going to deploy. Here, I'm going to deploy a pirate agent, and the subdomain endpoint of the deployed agent will be pirate agent. And I select, and the user, a developer selects the uh, tag of the agent, the description of the agent, and then he creates the agent on chain. Here, the developer executes a transaction of app call transaction, which creates the agent on chain. After the agent is created, the agent app ID, agent address, and token is given to the developer. The developer copies this app ID and secrets into uh, his the developer copies this agent app ID, the address, and the token into the project which he has developed. Here, the developer imports an Orca agent SDK that we have built from scratch, where uh, it returns a 402 transaction where the user need to sign the transaction of 402, and then the the user is able to execute the agentic transaction agent after the 402 payment is approved. The user have built Orca Agent SDK. Orca Agent SDK is a wrapper around the agent which the developer has built already. So Orca Agent SDK is the SDK which is a wrapper around the developer's uh, agent. So Orca Agent SDK uh, opens some endpoints like start job, which returns a phone or two payment required request to the user who is executing the agent transaction. And after the user pays the agent the amount which is required to process the uh, prompt, the transaction gets approved, and then the agent is able to execute the prompt of the user. Here, the developer replaces the app ID with the created app ID and the agent address and the token address, and then he uh, he commits it into the GitHub. After the agent details are configured, the backend GitHub workflow file will generate a Docker container and will publish it into the GitHub's repository, GitHub's container repository. A GitHub workflow file generates the Docker image and publishes into the GitHub registry of containers, and then and then the pod retrieves the and then the package which is deployed by the workflow file is generated here, and the developer copies this container and places it and enters it into the Docker container URL, and then uh, the agent is deployed onto the Kubernetes cluster of the Orca pod. So we have developed a Kubernetes cluster for all the agents. We are developing a we are providing a free uh, deployment to all the agents which is going to developed on Algorand. So we are deploying all of our agents onto the Kubernetes cluster. The any agent which is deployed on Orca is free and open source. The agent is deployed onto the Orca Live endpoint, and you can see the Orca agent is live and running. The user architecture. Then the user clicks the agent and then hires the agent. And after he hires, he pays a transaction amount of the required by the agent. He pays the transaction amount as required by the agent and then signs the contract. What happens in the backend is the user gets a 402 payment required from the agent. The agent sends unsigned transactions to the user, and then the agent endpoint sends the unsigned transactions to the user, and user signs the transaction. And after the transaction gets approved on the backend, the agent checks for the verification of this transaction if it has is been done, and then the job ID is completed successfully and the output of the agent is given. The pirate agent here is giving the output here like this. Today, building an AI agent is easy. Deploying it and scaling it or monetizing it is painfully hard. Developers get stuck in DevOps. Users get lost in fragmented landscape of unverified agents. Orca fixes this. We are the Vercel for AI agents. Developers simply connect their Git repo, and Orca handles the entire infrastructure, containerization, development, and networking, scaling, live endpoints, all automatically. What used to take weeks now takes minutes. And unlike those marketplaces, Orca is a real on-chain economy. Every agent ownership is recorded on Algorand. Payment flows directly from users to developers, peer-to-peer and trustless, transparent, instant, and fair. At the center sits our orchestrator agent, an AI brain that hires and coordinates multiple agents to accomplish complex tasks end to end. Users don't need to talk to one agent, they command the whole team. Our vision: the future of AI isn't dominated by one monolithic model. It is powered by millions of specialized agents built by the creators everywhere. Orca is the infrastructure, the main net that makes this open AI economy possible. Orca, we develop faster, earn directly, and build the decentralized AI future for Algorand.